A report has come out from Mike Florio of Pro Football Talk that the New York Giants would entertain the idea of trading for a head coach. We're going to break that down on today's show. We'll go over some other trades in the NFL that has happened around head coaches to try to paint the picture of what a trade would look like. Before I share my thoughts, I want to hear from you in the comment section. Would you trade for a current head coach this offseason, knowing that it was going to cost premium draft capital? Sound off in the comments for me. Type Y for yes, type N for no. This is New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. Appreciate everybody for stopping by as we react to the recent report from Mike Florio that the New York Giants have not ruled out the idea of trading for a head coach, potentially Mike Tomlin, or Matt LaFleur. Florio wrote this, saying, per a source with knowledge of the situation, the Giants haven't ruled out this approach in their effort to find a new coach. While it's too early to know whether it will be a viable option, it's something we are told the Giants certainly would entertain, as he writes about the Giants trading for a coach. And this is something that we have mentioned a couple of times here on this show. That's why you subscribe. I know everybody watching is. That I don't hate the New York Giants trying to go out and poach a head coach that is talented, but might just be running out of time at his current job. I think about the NFL like this. It is a GM, head coach, and quarterback league. And you want to get a star and an impactful person in those jobs that can directly affect winning. And if you go out and trade for a proven head coach that's won a Super Bowl, I think it's something you should absolutely entertain. You already have the quarterback in Jackson Dart. You have one of those seats filled. If you could trade for a coach to guarantee that you get another one of those 3 seats filled, I think you do that. And then it takes a little responsibility off the shoulders of Joe Schoen. And I think there is even a world where we'll talk about a candidate. He could potentially force his way here, want to be here more so, and maybe even bring a new GM with him. How would it go down? Florio, he wrote this. Here's how it would work in theory. The Giants would contact the team that employs the targeted head coach. If the team is interested in talking, a deal could be reached on the compensation that would be given to the current team if the coach eventually makes the jump. At that point, the Giants would have permission to contact the coach in an effort to determine whether he's interested and what he'd be paid by the Giants. As a practical matter, the Giants would work the back channels to find out whether the coach is interested before pulling the pin on the grenade. Yes, it's tampering. Yes, it happens. And yes, it would be foolish for the Giants to cold call a team about possibly acquiring a coach without knowing he'd want to coach the Giants. It's not a trade in the classic sense because the coach controls the situation. If he doesn't want to make the move can't happen. So that pretty much says that if the Giants are going to trade for a head coach, that head coach is going to want to, 1, leave the organization they are with or get fired, and 2, want to be the next head coach of the New York Giants. And coming up on today's show, we're going to go over all of the head coach trades dating back to 2000. There's one that recently happened in 2023 to kind of give us an idea of what that trade would cost. And then I'd give you 3 names to keep your eye on as the season comes to a close, candidates the New York Giants could look to trade for. Before we do that, though, I want to say thank you to every single person that watches this show. We crossed over 98,000 subscribers yesterday. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are that much closer to our goal of 100,000 subscribers. We are 1,859 people away. If you love the Giants, you bleed Giants blue, and you want multiple free videos every day, hit that sub button right now. We'll get to the trades and some candidates in a second, but first, I got to give a major shout out to our sponsor, Ridge. If you are looking to get a brand new wallet, Ridge is the place to do it. They've got an awesome deal as well. When you go to ridge.com/chat, use that promo code chat, you can get up to 47% off. All of that information will be clickable down in the comments and description. I used to have a really old crusty wallet, And it was disgusting. And when I would go to a restaurant with the fellas, I'd go out to eat, go to the bar, whatever it may be, when I had to pay and I had to pull out that wallet, I would be a little bit embarrassed. But not with Ridge. I no longer feel that way. I feel good about my wallet, and so do others, as it has over 100,000 five-star reviews. Also, over 50 plus colors and styles to choose from. I also love the fact that you can't lose it because there's a spot on the wallet for an AirTag attachment. So, if you're like me and you lose your wallet all the time, get hooked up with Ridge. Also, there's more products with Ridge. It's not just about wallets. They create premium, everyday carry essentials like key cases, suitcases, and rings, all built with the same sleek, durable design. For a limited time, Ridge is having their huge Black Friday sale. Head to RIDGE.com to get up to 47% off your order. This is by far the biggest discount they've given all year. That's Ridge.com for up to 47% off your order during their biggest sale of the year. After your purchase, they will ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them that Chat Sports sent you. All right, let's go back to the year 2000, where we saw the New England Patriots trade for Bill Belichick, acquiring him from the New York Jets, where they gave up a first-round pick. I think we'll learn as we do this together that it's not going to be cheap if the Giants want to pluck a talented head coach away from another team. Go back to 2002, where John Gruden was traded from the Las Vegas Raiders to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Raiders received 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, and $8 million of cash considerations, with John Gruden going to the Tampa Bay Bucks. Then you go to 2006, where Herm Edwards leaves the New York Jets to go to the Kansas City Chiefs, and the New York Jets, they acquire a 4th-round pick. What about in 2019? There was a large break there where Bruce Arians was sent from Arizona to Tampa Bay. Arians and a 7th go to the Bucks, and a 6th-round pick goes to the Arizona Cardinals. And the most recent and last coach trade that went down, it was Sean Payton going from the Saints, and I'm pretty sure he was retired at this time, to the Denver Broncos. The Broncos acquire Sean Payton and a 3rd-round pick, and the Saints, they give up the Saints acquire a 1st and 2nd-round pick, and the Broncos, they receive Payton and a 3rd-round pick. So I wanted to do that to kind of just paint the pictures of what a trade could look like, what the trade value would be, and try to get everybody to understand, myself included, it is not going to be cheap to get this done, especially if you're going to try to trade for somebody like Mike Tomlin, who has been a name that appears to at least have rumors surrounding him that his time with the Pittsburgh Steelers could be coming to a close. Say the Steelers don't make the playoffs this year, maybe it is a mutual parting of ways between the Steelers and the Rooney family, and maybe the Rooney family doesn't want to fire Mike Tomlin because they know there would be a long list of teams to trade for them, and we know the Giants are well connected to the Rooneys. There is a Tish married to a Rooney. There is a connection there. They are blue blood organizations. Maybe Tomlin would like to coach the Giants. You would need that. I'll say this, if Tomlin is available to be acquired, I would be seriously interested in making a trade for him. I would not trade our 2026 first-round pick. I'd be willing to give up a 2026 second and a 4th. I also would entertain potentially swapping first-round picks where the Giants pick in the slot the Steelers have, and the Steelers jump up to where the Giants have. I'm trying to say if Mike Tomlin is available, he is number 1 on my head coaching hot board. John Harbaugh, the head coach for the Baltimore Ravens, he is another name that I would heavily consider trading for. All the things I said about Mike Tomlin, they apply to John Harbaugh as well, but Tomlin is the candidate that I am a little bit more interested in. But if Harbaugh is available and Tomlin is not, Harbaugh becomes option number 1. And yes, I would trade premium picks for him as well. The coach that comes in 3rd, and really I think the only coach that you should even consider trading for at this point, is Matt LaFleur, the head coach for the Green Bay Packers. I think there is a sizable gap in my interest between Tomlin and Harbaugh and then LaFleur. Like, there's a sizable gap there. I would trade for LaFleur. I'm not willing to give up the premium draft capital that I would for Tomlin or Harbaugh, but if the Packers, for some reason, want to move on from LaFleur this offseason and he's available for a trade, I'm picking up the phone and I'm trying to iron out a deal. You've got the QB right. That's the hardest thing to do in the National Football League, is to find a quarterback that you believe you can build a franchise, build a Super Bowl contending roster around them. I think you could do that with Jackson Dart. I believe the Giants think they could do that with Jackson Dart. But the Giants, they need a coach. We know that. Joe Schoen told you. The front office told you. We believe this team has talent. But Brian Dable couldn't win us games. And Shane Bowen couldn't win games on defense. Maybe you are a legit head coach away from at least being able to contend in the NFC East. I don't know. I'll say this. If you have Mike Tomlin or you have John Harbaugh, you got a lot better chance to win a lot more games than you did the last couple of years. Make sure you are following me on social media. If we hear any updates on this, we're going to get you guys the information you need ASAP. So give me a follow on Twitter, follow on Instagram, @MarshallGreen_.